What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Cam. I'm here with my lovely wife,
Vicky.
and we are your hosts for the Everything Is We podcast.
What up? What up?
We're so excited to get started. This is episode 3.
Yeah.
Episode 3 with Everything Is We. And
What's it gonna be?
what's it gonna be? We gonna see.
I wanted to keep going, but
So,
I don't have anything.
We got all of our corniness out of the way for now. Today we're gonna talk about some interesting things. Are you ready? Vicky's sleepy, so
You clearly are goofy right now because you sleepy too.
how am I goofy? I'm not sleepy at all.
You don't even know what we talking about. What we talking about?
I'm not sleepy at all. We talking about what we discussed we was gonna
Oh
talk
my
about.
god! And go give the intro. We're talking about friendships
Yeah, so friendships, relationships.
in general. At the core of who we are, friendship is like the foundation.
Absolutely.
We are relationship people. We value relationships in all shapes and sizes. You know, we need people.
We do.
We need people. If we didn't need other people in our lives, if we didn't need relationships, we'd be the only person on earth. You just one person though. I don't know which person. I don't know who that person would be. But we need relationships. One, because God uses people. The fact that he uses people means that you need to have relationships, right? But they also need to be healthy relationships.
Keyword healthy.
Healthy relationships. And I think any relationship that involves you like talking to a person more than one time and y'all gotta be like cool, that's technically a friendship. Like there are levels, there's different, you talked about this before, there's different types of friendships, right? So you got friends that you work with, and then you got friends that you end up, well, one friend that you end up marrying. And then there is like, you know, we hang out, we kick it, we confide in each other type friendships, you know, those are your like guy friends or your girlfriends or whatever. Also, your relationship with God is a friendship. If you want to go that deep, Jesus is your friend.
Because the song says, "You got a friend in me."
Oh, I thought you was about to sing a gospel song.
You got a friend in me.
I thought you were going to say, I am a friend.
Oh, yeah.
I am a friend of God.
No, I wasn't going to say
Okay. All right. Toy Story.
that. I just felt that in my spin. You got a friend in me. You got a friend. I don't know why I want to make that churchy. You got a friend in me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So friendships are important. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about all types of friendships and how they play different roles in different parts in your life. I think most people ask me, when they ask me about friendships, they ask me like specifically about adult friendships, like how to have adult friendships, how to find them, number one, because people, you know, they see our, you know, friend group and stuff and like, how do you meet good friends? Like, where did you find friends? How do you find them? How do you meet them? And it's not like we just go to like a friend swap meet and just like be like, hey, here's my friend resume.
A friend flea market.
You can sign up to be my friend here.
My God.
And I might call you. So there's no like formal way of like finding friendships, I feel like. But I feel like every friendship that I have, well, even the good ones and the bad ones, every relationship that I've had in my life has served a purpose. When you want your relationships to have purpose, then you look at how you make friends differently, because then you're not just out here like trying to be everybody's friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, so for me,
you approach it differently.
For me, I don't force anything.
No.
I don't force anything, but at the same time, like I was raised to be a relational person.
Yes.
My parents they take relationships very seriously as, you know, pastors. Mm-hmm. They should, and it's in their heart to do it. That's why, you know, they're called to be pastors. And I was about to go on a whole tangent about why it's important that you have the right pastors as your leaders, because that matters. Because if you have pastors that aren't people
persons,
people, or people,
People.
then they're in the wrong business.
Mm-hmm.
And I still went on the rant anyway.
Hey, you
But
need to get that out. I'm not mad
it's
at you.
neither here nor there. But I was raised to be a relational person.
Mm-hmm.
So when I read the book Relational Intelligence, which like sparked some amazing conversations and even friendships from reading the book, it broke it down so easy. And I was doing this without even knowing it. But the best way to like make friends, period, is to just be a genuine person.
Facts.
Like just be just be genuine.
Yeah.
Like if you're mean, just be genuinely mean.
And you'll make genuinely mean
And
friends.
you'll make genuinely mean friends. If you're nice and you're nice to people, you're more likely to have more friends than people that are mean.
The law of attraction. I don't know. If you're a giver, then you'll be surrounded with people who won't take from you all the time because well, no, that's not what I was going to say. That's not a good analogy. I'm going to use a different example. Because some people are givers and they have horrible friends who take from them all the time.
Well, because, see, and there's a difference there too. You have to understand the people that you're connected to, because if you don't understand or assess the people that are around you, you will allow yourself to be taken advantage of.
Right.
Because some people are in your life strictly for the purpose of taking. But if you don't know they're in your life to take and not to pour back, not to give back, not to support you, not to support your dreams, visions, goals, aspirations, be there for you, all that stuff, then you'll continue giving to them without even knowing it. And
yes.
They'll be a drain as opposed to being a support.
And I think the importance in that is knowing who you are first and then accepting who you are and your purpose, your gifts, your, all that comes with you. And then that way you can appropriately assess the people around you because you know yourself. Sometimes we're looking for friendships and we don't even know ourselves, and then we end up surrounded by the wrong people, and our personalities can't really shine. We can't really be who we want. Well, not who we want to be, but who we should be, because we're trying to be like people that we shouldn't even be around in the first place. So that's number one is the importance of like knowing yourself. That helps a lot. People who are secure with themselves, or like they're confident in who they are and they know who they are. They don't waste time with people who are going to take from them. You know what your purpose is, so you're not going to have purposeless relationships that don't make sense.
Right.
And that bothers people who are secure in who they are. It's like, I don't need this relationship to validate me, so why am I wasting my time with this person?
Absolutely. Like 100%. I have a whole sermon on my YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, called Relationships. And I said some things in there that, everybody's not going to agree with everything I say. That's fine. That's cool. But there are people in your life that literally like are leeches.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally the things that stay plugged and connected and attached to you because they know and they have more vision and insight about you than you do for yourself.
Yeah.
Like they see, like, nah, I need to be connected to them because they're going places.
Yeah.
And people, you see this a lot in celebrity stories, things of that sort, where it was like, they stayed loyal to their day ones. And everybody that grew up with you is not going with you to the other places that life may take you. And not even to say like you're going up, or like you may go down. And the people that you grew up with, they're not going down with you.
Yeah. It may not even be like a direction. It could just, well, not like
That's what
a,
I'm saying. Like that's why I didn't say, because oftentimes we talk about friendships and, well, I'm going to new levels, and
right,
you can't, some people can't come with you to the next
right.
level. Like,
And they be thinking like, well, everything is like a hater situation. Like, oh,
yeah, and
I
that's not the
glowed up and she
case.
hating on me.
That's not
No,
the case. Yeah.
sometimes you go through hard things in life, and you need people who are going through the similar things that you're going through, so that they can talk to you and speak life into you, because they going through the same thing. Like, it's that it could be that simple.
Yeah. Like for instance, I was literally thinking about this today. I'm a thinker. I don't know why I feel like telling you guys
Me
that,
too.
but I'm a thinker. Just in case you, just in case you didn't know. But I was thinking about this today. I was like, sometimes I wonder, do certain people who we used to hang out with and stuff all the time look at us like, man, like we not like, I'm never one of those people, unless you like wrong me, or I somehow we come to some egregious moment in our relationship.
Egregious.
You like, that's the word of the day. And it's like uh some falling out or whatever the case may be.
Nobody
Like,
falls out with Cam.
yeah, like I'm never gonna look at you and be like, yeah, we fell out. It's just gonna be like, man, like we're in different seasons. Like, you have children now, or you have this going on now. Like, and I don't want to seem like I'm impeding, because I know you have more important things to do than hang out with me. And you know what I'm saying? I don't have kids. I don't have certain responsibilities, or vice versa. Like, I'm an assistant pastor now, or I'm doing XYZ now. I'm running a business now. Like, in certain times, like we're not gonna be able to go to the pool hall like we used to, or I'm not gonna be able to go get my nails done with you every Tuesday at 3 like we used to, girl, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
there's certain things in your life that just come up. Like, we're in different spaces. I still love you. You still my dog. You still my sis. You still my bro. You still whatever. It's just that like the phase that we're in our lives, it's just not aligning. But that doesn't mean I'm not cool with you. That doesn't mean I got a problem with you. And that's why I think, like, because sometimes people can think that about you, or
Right. Think something's wrong when there
yeah, and
ain't
it's
even
like
nothing
there's
wrong.
nothing wrong. It's just like you have so many responsibilities, and I'm not gonna ask you every weekend, hey, let's go kick it. And I know you got
Right.
stuff that you have to do. You also have to have that kind of understanding in where you are with friendships that you may have had for many, many years. Sometimes it just may be like you guys are in different spaces in your lives right now. And that don't mean, yeah, we're not, you don't talk to me every day. You don't write me notes anymore, or whatever. Like, we can't be friends. I hate that so many people have made it like this thing that you have to announce, like when you're cutting people off, or when you're doing XYZ, because you in a new season. Like,
Right. And I don't believe that you have
why
to.
take people through that emotional roller coaster and emotional stress just
Right.
to like make, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't even think you have to cut people off all the time. The cutoff culture is really like kind of unnecessary sometimes. I mean, a lot of times we do find ourselves in toxic situations where you do need to kind of distance yourself permanently from people. But I also don't I don't think that you should burn bridges either, because sometimes reconciliation or forgiveness can, happen. And I mean, it happens. But I also feel like people be cutting people off for the silliest reasons. There is a difference between needing to cut somebody off and needing to just change the dynamic of a relationship. Like, I may not hang out with you all the time anymore, but we can still be cool. Like, you can hit me up every once in a while, but that don't mean, well, we in different spaces, so I gotta cut you off. Or we
That's
don't agree on something, so that means I need to cut you off. People have this idea of what friendship should look like in their head, and they feel like if we not besties, then we not cool.
Man, I got friends. Man, listen, I cannot talk to you for months. And I'm like,
Right.
man, and in the back of my head, man, that's my dog.
But
That's my
then
brother.
that's why
You
you
know what I'm
also
saying?
right. You also have to that's why you have to understand who you are as a person. It's like, okay, well, if I'm this kind of person, I need friends who can handle me, because some people may not be
Handle me?
compatible.
Who gonna handle me?
Some people may not be compatible with me because of their needs and wants for a relationship, right? So it's like, if you need somebody to check on you all the time, then you need to find friends or be friends with people who are those types of people who can check on you and stuff. I'm the kind of person, I need distance and space. So guess what? All my relationships are long distance. But God knew that, so he gave me all these friends that are far from me because I don't like to be on top of people all the time. You know what I mean? I like to spend time alone, but I also like to have friends too. So it's great because I get the best of both worlds. I don't try to make friends, but they find themselves around me. Like organic, because I just be myself and I attract people who like who I am as myself.
Let's be real, y'all, because y'all be like, oh, that's my friend in my head. And it's like President Obama.
No.
You're not going to be friends with him. A lot of y'all out there, y'all love Beyonce. You're not going to be her friend. I'm sorry.
Okay.
If there's someone in your sphere of influence and you like the way they do things, you like the way they present themselves, you like the way they carry themselves, you like the way they make things happen, you can have genuine interactions with them via social media, because let's be honest, trying to make friends in a social media age is different than trying to interact person to person. But I mean, literally, anytime I've made a friend in my sphere of influence or expertise, it's because I had a genuine interaction with them and they felt that I was a genuine person, and they reached out to me and was like, bro, like, take my number down, or like, man, like, let's work. And I'll be like, dope, let's do it. And that's it.
Yeah.
like literally, I would start naming people.
Yeah, that's what happens to me too.
I literally will start naming people.
Funny
but
is,
I don't want to do that.
What's funny is, like, friendships catch me off guard every time. Like, I don't ever try. Like, that's why I said I never try. Like, I could just be like just talking about something on my story, and then somebody will pop in my DMs that I may follow them or they may follow me, or I don't know, we have some kind of similar interests, or we may do the same thing. They might be an influencer or something too. And we'll just start like talking about stuff that annoys us or something. That's always what gets me, is when somebody says something that annoys them, because I like talking about stuff that annoys me. But it always happens in a time where I actually need someone for a specific reason. And not to say that all my friendships I need them for me to benefit from them, but like God be knowing, like he be knowing when I'm about to go through something, or when I am going through something and I need somebody to speak to that specific situation. Like, it's just so weird. Like, right when I first got married, which is weird because Cam already had like friends that were married. So when I moved here, I made a whole bunch of new friends just off default, right? But when I first got married, a few months later was when Taylor hit me up to do the Lash Bar, like to work for her for Lash Bar. And she was like, I just got married a week ago. And then I'm like, what? And then she also watched YouTube and, you know, knew about the beauty industry and stuff. Yeah. I had no other friends who did that.
Literally
DM'd me and we had a meeting and she was like, you're my friend. And I'm like, okay.
That's why it's important.
God be knowing.
Because we're going to talk about God a lot because we're Christians.
I think people know that by now.
I know, but it may be a new listener that may be of a different faith.
Yes, my husband's a pastor. All right, but
here, and this is what I want to try to help people understand, is that every season of your life, whether we like to believe it or not, God knows what's about to happen.
Right.
We are not catching God by surprise.
At all.
He is not shocked.
Everything has purpose.
Exactly. He's not shocked one bit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he knows how to prepare us for the seasons that we are about to face in the future.
Right.
At the beginning or at the end of 2019, in my ministerial life, I was like, God, can you surround me with more people in the ministry space? Not because I want to be famous or I want to be connected with famous people, but I need to be connected to people who are going to help me and push me and propel me into spaces and places that I myself can't get there on my own. So how does God bless us? How does God show us favor? By using people.
Yep.
And then at the beginning of 2020, while we were on our annual anniversary trip in Punta Cana, this guy named Manny Arango hits me up.
I love Manny.
And
Tia.
like, Manny has been like,
Manny's changed my life.
Manny literally has been like one of the, he may not even know this, but he's literally been like one of my closest friends. And not that we've talked every day, and he's told me exactly how to live my life and told me exactly what scriptures to read and things of that sort, and told me how he's gone through what they've gone through. Like, but as we begin to talk about the things that we both had in common as far as ministry, then we begin to talk about marriage. And then we begin to talk about children. And then we begin to, like, bro.
Yep.
That's all of this stuff, like, God knows. And then we get hit by the pandemic, and then he's like, we're going back and forth, and God is like, dude.
The same thing happened with me and Wanda. 2019. That's when we met.
Divine connections. I truly believe in divine connections. If you read Luke, the entire book of Luke, you can find divine connections all in the book of Luke, all in throughout the entire Bible. But absolutely, when we got married, in the back of my head, I had already started looking and observing people who I wanted us to be surrounded with, because I was like, from what I see and how they interact with each other, these particular couples I need to be around, because they're older than me. They've been married, but they're young. They make marriage look cool. I can't wait to get married and introduce my wife to these people. Yeah. And that's exactly what I did.
I think it's good also, even though we both said that our friendships were like organic, we didn't try to make friends or whatever, but we were also still intentional though. Like you were intentional in doing that.
No, there's a difference between intentionality and being thirsty. Oh my God.
That was good. I might give you an offering.
There's a difference between intentionality and being thirsty. Because there are some people that are thirsty and they name drop and they put, they tag people, and every time you're around them, it's not genuine, because all they're doing is talking about who they're connected to. I just preached.
That was a word.
It ain't genuine if you always bragging about.
Right.
Okay.
We live in it's not what you know, it's who you know generation. If I want to elevate to the next level, I gotta be around people who are gonna help me get there. I mean, yeah, sure, but it becomes unhealthy when you become obsessed with. That's selfish. Like, it's a selfish way of thinking. You can't you can't go into a relationship planning out how you're gonna use somebody, because that's basically what it is. It's like you're using them. Like, if you're only concerned about what they can do to help you and how they can better your life, and you're not trying to, because like you said before in the sermon you preached, it's like some relationship, you're in somebody's life to help them, and sometimes people are in your life to help you.
Yep.
Because you need people. So like when I was growing up, before I met Cam, I had a lot of relationships where I tended to be like the big sister type, right? So yep. I was like always the one who was kind of like leading the pack, or I was always the one who, like, people came to me for advice. They came to me for help. They came to me because, they needed someone to be friends with or whatever. I wasn't really like I wasn't like the kind of person you got cry on my shoulder. Definitely not. But I was the person, like, if you wanted to go have fun, you hit up Vicky, because we gonna do something. Like, whatever we doing, we gonna have fun, because I'm just the fun friend, the uplifting friend. That's how I was. But nobody was ever really pouring back into me and helping me grow. So then when I got married, like, it's like all of the relationships around me started pouring back into me. And I noticed that I wasn't always the one leading the pack, leading the conversation. It was like people were older than me. Mm-hmm. People had been married longer than me. Mm-hmm. And they all knew each other. So they had a lot of insight about the space that I was in. Like, I'm new to the church. I'm new to this city. I'm new to this state. The dynamic of what I needed friends for changed. So the people around me were pouring into me. So I was learning from them instead of somebody learning from me all the time. So I learned how to be more vulnerable in relationships because I needed help from people more so than helping others.
Yeah. And it's important to understand the three levels of friendships or three levels of relationships. That's more accurate than friendships. Three levels of relationships. Okay, there's you in the middle, and you're gonna have people that you're learning from. The people that you're learning from, they're pouring into you, and you have to take that knowledge that you know and pour back into somebody else. So there's gonna be people that's gonna be learning from you, and then you're gonna be learning from other people. Don't allow yourself, because sometimes we can do this when things around you start happening for other people, and you're like, "Hey God, like I'm right here. I've been a good student. Like, okay, is it my turn yet?" And it's not your turn yet, or it's not your season yet, and you get bitter. Well, I'm the strong friend.
Yeah.
And I'm always pouring into people, and who's pouring into me? And people are,
People are.
but you're not focused on the people that are. You're focused on the people that aren't. That's why you have to be intentional about the people that are pouring into you, because if you're not valuing the people that are pouring into you, you'll devalue the people that you feel like should be pouring into you, and they don't have the capacity to.
Friendship is you all around you all the time. Like you, I don't think anybody's ever truly alone. Like people may be like, "Oh, I'm so alone. Like I feel so alone." You may feel alone, but you're never really alone. There's always somebody, unless you just don't talk to anyone ever. And in that case, I don't know how you are alive. Like if you really trust God and you have a prayer life, God is not going to leave you lonely like ever. There's always going to be somebody who comes into your life.
But if you have a prayer life, not to cut you off, but I did.
Oh, go ahead.
If you if you have a prayer life and you communicate to God, He's going to surround you with people, period.
Yeah. But sometimes people reject what was sent to them because it doesn't look like what they want it to look like. I feel like this is like a social media thing. I feel like they do this in marriage too. They make it like a romantic thing. They romanticize things to where they like, I want my friendship to look like I want my friends.
They want it to look Instagrammable.
Yeah, they want people they can go on trips to Utah with.
Some friends you finna have to go to McDonald's.
There are people in my life that I may call a friend, but to me they're more like a sister, or like, you know what I mean? Like they may not be like, "Oh, we girls, we kick it." But it's like I talk to them if I need help with something. And sometimes we look at people like, "Oh, well, that's just my, my play cousin or whatever. That's just that lady that we talk every now and then, but like she be giving me really good advice." Like, so I don't know. I feel like friendship can come in many different forms. It looks different for different people.
To summarize everything, guys, I really think that you should be more intentional than you are thirsty.
And make sure Jesus is your friend first, because God knows everything. So if you need relationships, because sometimes you might be thirsty and you might need to chill for a little minute and learn yourself first before you just go out here trying to make all these friends, because healthy relationships start with having a healthy relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't be out here trying to find yourself in other people.
Broken people are just going to create more broken people.
Yes, you can't be out here trying to make friends and you just damage goods. All you're going to do is run people over or use them or, make bad decisions in your friendships. And that doesn't help anyone. You run away the right people.
That's so good, as you said that. The beautiful thing about us is it's okay if you are broken. It's okay if you are struggling.
Broken, technically.
Like my wife was saying, get a relationship with Jesus first. Absolutely. But start with reading the word and your prayer life. Mm-hmm. That's how you develop that relationship. And God will literally use the broken pieces of your life and put you back together like stained glass.
Yeah.
And you'll be a beautiful piece of art. Because at the end of the day, like she said, we're all broken.
Yeah.
As you develop your relationship with God, it will allow you to be a good friend, to be a good brother, to be a good sister, to be a good husband, to be a good wife, to be a good coworker, to be a good teacher, to be a good whatever it is. That's one of the things that I feel like sometimes we miss in
Like, to be
the grand
honest,
scheme of things.
like I've learned more about how to be a good friend just by working on my relationship with God, because like the way God treats us is how you should be treating other people. That's the whole purpose. That's what Jesus
Well, the Bible
was
says, "Do unto others."
That's what Jesus said. It's like, if you help other people, if you're nice to other people, if you're kind to other people, if you don't turn your back on other people, then you did the same thing to me. Your relationship with God is reflected in your relationship with other people. So like when you continue to build that relationship with God, you know, like God is always there for me, even though I'm trash sometimes, you know, he still loved me. That's what you should be like with other people.
More
that way
grace.
you don't cut everybody off.
More grace.
And you've taught me that too. Learning how to be friends with other people. I've learned that from you too, because you have a lot of grace. Before I was like, I don't like you.
Yeah,
Deuces.
my wife.
Like, I don't
She's
like you
definitely
today.
grown
I'm
in that
not gonna
area.
talk to you. Like,
I'm super gracious
yeah, you are.
because
Just you dealing with me
the Bible
all
says
these
a
years.
brother is born for the time of adversity. So if I cut you off when you do something that people may consider a sin, or may consider crazy or outlandish, and I cut you off, well, what good is that going to do anybody?
That don't help them, and it don't help you.
And so I love to show grace, because that's what our Heavenly Father does. Imagine, all the times that I mess up. The scripture still says that nothing can separate us from the love of God. So why would I separate myself from the love that you may need from me? If you build your relationship with God, because your prayer life and read the word, those are two of the things that the enemy, the devil, don't want you to do.
Right.
But if you do those things and you build yourself up, you allow God to build you up, it's just going to open up the floodgates of communication and friendship and intimacy with your spouse. It's going to create easy flowing communication with your friends. You may have a bad relationship with your parents. It may create a bridge for reconciliation. You handle that, and the rest will fall into place.
All things work together.
Literally, all things. The bad things in your life,
like
the good things in your life.
I've made so many friends from the bad situations that I've had to go through. It's crazy.
Literally.
I'm going to talk about that in another podcast.
Yeah, all things work together.
But it's like, even the bad things, they work for your good.
We live the best
We really
life.
don't mean to be making this all Christian-y.
I know.
But it just ends up going that way.
Who I am. I'm just genuinely being myself.
If you weren't trying to be a Christian and you was listening to us, you got God. We low-key, we here to preach to you.
Right. You listen, you're like, man, they sound good. I just love the backdrop and the vibe. If you watching and you're like, oh man, it just look nice. And low-key, God is pulling on your heartstrings.
We low-key having church and y'all didn't even know it.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Please check us out on all of our available platforms: Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I guess Patreon soon.
Oh yes, I do have a Patreon coming. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a really great way for you guys to stay connected with us on a deeper level, and also a way for you to support us, because I know some of you do want to support us, and we would greatly appreciate that. Yes, so that will be coming soon. I'll be sure to announce that at some point. That's it. We will talk to you guys on our next one. All right.
Peace.